Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, the country's murder count pushed to 29 after a man is gunned down off Carmichael Road. Senators clash over the cancellation of the Labor Day parade. Plus, a couple stuck off Ragged Island hopes to head out next week.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thank you for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Police investigating the country's latest murder after a man was shot dead in a neighborhood off Carmichael Road. Jared Higgs tells us a child was also shot during the incident.
Family members tell Our News the murdered man is Perron Bain. Police say Bain and a group of people were in front of a residence at Bellevue Circle off Iguana Way at around 1 p.m. when a gold vehicle approached them.
Individuals exited the vehicle and walked in their directions, discharging firearms at them. As a result, 3 persons were shot, one being a 10-year-old.
3 people were hit, including Bain, who died on the scene. Police say a 10-year-old child was also shot and is hospitalized in serious condition. Another man was shot and he is listed as being in stable condition. Police also say another man was injured, but not from a gunshot, as he was trying to escape the scene.
The individuals were trying to flee the scene, and as a result of fleeing the scene, he received injuries, and he too is in hospital at this time.
Family members and friends screamed as Bain's body was carted away. His killing is the second murder this week. On Wednesday, 24-year-old Stefan Roll was shot dead in Fox Hill. ASP Audley Peters says police are appealing for help solving this latest killing.
We're appealing to members of the public who may have any information in regards to this incident to come forward or contact CDU via 502-991 or Crime Stoppers.
According to Our News records, Bain's killing is a 29th murder for 2020. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
A resolution to extend the COVID-19 emergency order was passed in the Senate yesterday evening, but not before Senate leaders of both the government and opposition got into a heated screaming match over the cancellation of the Labor Day parade. Jasmine Brown has more.
Take the facts, go on with your speech, and anytime you come with a misstatement, you will be corrected.
Look here, the day I take a lecture from you is the day pigs get wings.
Well, they mustn't fly in now.
No. It crashed in the ground.
The shouting match erupted as Leader of Opposition Business in the Senate Fred Mitchell made his contribution to the emergency order resolution, which was later passed on Thursday evening. Mitchell expressed his disappointment over the fact that there would be no Labor Day parade next Friday. However, Free National Movement Senator Jamal Moss interrupted Mitchell on a point of clarification and explained that the march had been canceled due to the COVID-19 concerns. His interruption did not sit well with Mitchell, who is also chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party.
Look here, speaking as a citizen of the Bahamas, the unions can decide whatever the unions want to do. I'm just telling you, the 5th of June is Labor Day, and I celebrate Labor Day. I can. But you see, this is the problem, right? I had this with younger people all the time. They always trying to prescribe what you must do or what we must be part of a group. You know, don't try to prescribe what I must do. I do what I want to do.
Mitchell's response led to a shouting and pointing match as Leader of Government Business in the Senate and AG Carl Bethel chimed in on a point of order.
The member opposite made a suggestion that the government is just all of its own because someone whispered in the king's ear. Let's take the analogy. That is your suggestion. Is that the government is just acting on its own to the Labor Day marches.
I made no such suggestion. We have a member on Senator Mitchell. No such suggestion. I made no such suggestion. None. Didn't come out of my mouth.
You were
Senator
making
different thing.
and he answered you.
And the heated debate did not stop there as both Bethel and Mitchell continued to scream their points across the table.
Madam President, when the member on Senator Moss answered him with the facts, he then offensively just now accused Senator Moss of trying to shut him down merely by giving him the facts.
Fucking fool. Not today. Not near today. Not near today. Not in Senator Mitchell. Please continue. Not in here today. Not in here today.
Senator Miles, unless you're on a point of order, please.
Not in here today. Not in here today.
Our news team understands the parade was canceled following a meeting between union leaders and the government. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
A family from the U.S. that has been stuck at sea in Bahamian waters off Ragged Island is still there and looking for the best opportunity to sail north and back to America. Brian Chopin says his family has been overwhelmed by the support of Bahamians who seem to understand their plight.
This is Karen, my wife, and this is Sierra, our daughter. She's 9 months old.
All smiles, Captain Brian Trotman, his wife Karen, and 9-month-old daughter Sierra remain on their vessel, SV Delos, 3 months after they got stuck in waters off Ragged Island. The family made international headlines earlier this week, which raised concerns over how the couple managed to get stuck in Bahamian waters when borders closed.
Marinas and places in the U.S. Stopped accepting people. And so we decided that, well, we feel safe here. We feel that we can isolate here. We know that we can get some food and provisions, and we're just going to sit here and see if the situation improves and sort of take it month by month. And well, we're still here.
Speaking with Our News, Trotman says they've done everything legally, from getting a cruise permit to remaining in contact with local authorities and following local fishing regulations. The family has been surviving off of fish they catch and groceries delivered via the mailboat into Duncantown, Ragged Island. And local authorities, according to Trotman, have been useful in their survival. So much so that they now know the officers of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force by first name.
We get the food on the dock, we put it in our small boat, and then back to our big sailboat. That has been a lifesaver, because, you know, you can only eat fish and rice and bread for so long before you really, tomatoes and avocados and just vegetables in general. We speak with the local Bahamian Defense Force on a weekly basis, and super nice guys. They're the ones that have been assisting us on when we can go get our groceries and making sure that everything is safe in that regard. And yeah, super helpful. We know them on a first name basis.
As for little Sierra, who's beginning to take her first steps, life's a breeze.
It's been great. The challenges, of course, are making sure that she has the proper nutrition. Luckily, we started doing cloth diapering, so we don't have to generate any waste or worry about diapers or anything like that. We're just using reusable diapers and we wash them on boards.
But with the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season fast approaching, the Trotmans must now seek shelter to avoid getting caught in a storm on a boat with a 9-month-old baby. They're looking to leave Bahamian waters sometime next week.
We were hoping that we would be able to sail north up the Bahamas chain of islands to the Exumas and all the way up to Abaco, and then try and keep on heading north for the northeast of the U.S. and get out of the hurricane zone. But because we're not able to do that, I think we're just going to have to set sail, look for the best available weather window, and then see how far north we can make it. And maybe that will be somewhere in North Carolina, maybe it will be somewhere in the Chesapeake Bay, around Maryland or Annapolis, or maybe as far north as Maine.
And as they get ready to head out, the Trotmans are thankful for all the help and support they've gotten from Bahamians who have looked out for them and sent well wishes. They had this farewell message.
It's a beautiful, wonderful place, and the oceans are healthy here. And thank you very much to everybody that allowed us to be here. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
As a 2-week full lockdown on that tiny island winds down, Bimini residents venting their frustrations concerning emergency orders to the Prime Minister last night during a virtual town hall meeting. Georgia Bain has more.
Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis was not able to stay very long at the Bimini Town Hall meeting last night via Zoom, telling residents that he had very little to eat on Thursday, so he would leave them in the hands of healthcare professionals. Before leaving, the Prime Minister made a brief address, assuring Biminites that the long 2-week lockdown is almost over.
I know that when you first heard that you were being locked down, that was difficult for you initially, but I was happy to hear that you had taken it well. And each and every one of you were cooperating and even assisting each other. The lockdown would cease very soon, I think on Tuesday. And as soon as I can visit your shores, once I get clearance from the health professionals who would be speaking to you very soon, I most certainly would come down and meet as many of you as possible.
Before the Prime Minister left, he took a few questions from Bimini residents. Rocky Wallace expressed concern over the amount of food on the island and begged the Prime Minister to allow Biminites to get back to work.
We as the people of Bimini, we have insufficient food and things that can help us. Like the small bags that they give us, what they want to share out, that don't make no sense. That's a day bag. That can't help people who have family to feed. Like they can't take care of their people. So from y'all stopping us from working and having the place on lockdown, that doesn't make any sense because we don't have a lot of stuff that could help us out.
Minister dismissed those claims but assured Wallace that he would look into the situation.
I would look into that, but that's not the information I've been given. But I most certainly would check into that because you should have been provided with more than enough food to provide to accommodate you.
That's all.
For the 2-week duration.
Island Administrator Cleola Cooper Pinder doubled down that more than sufficient food supplies are on the island and that the government has been busy making food deliveries.
We have served 1,100 cases of water, 710 care packages, which would be the food. And I know we served about maybe 40 or 50 packages of chicken with that today. Today, I think it was 100 care packages distributed. We distributed 1,120 packages of fruit, and today was 450 packages. They are probably still on the road now delivering the fruit packages, so many of you would have received that.
Reporting for our News, I'm Georgie O'Bain.
National Security Minister Marvin Dame says he is aware of a video of an Abaco man making what appears to be threatening comments about the Prime Minister. He said the video is now in the hands of police.
I don't have the full grasp of that particular video, but I'm aware of it, and I'm aware that it's in the police's care. So they're very much aware and are looking at it.
In the video, the man said that there is nothing honorable about the Prime Minister because of the way Abaco people were treated in the wake of Hurricane Dorian. The man asked that the Prime Minister text him a place and time to, quote, meet him in the Pine Yard, adding the Prime Minister should bring James Aubrey for a 2-on-1 match. Dame said people must be careful what they post.
We have to be responsible in our use of social media. This is our way of communicating nowadays, but it doesn't change the fact that we have to be responsible in the things we put out there, the things we say, and we have to ensure that we're not making threats towards citizens. We're not breaking the law, because the police will find you.
Still to come, why the Attorney General says tourism is crucial to jumpstarting the economy. Plus, an Exuma man's plea to visit a New Providence hospital. Stay tuned. Attorney General Carl Bethel says the Bahamas will not go back to normal until the country's #1 industry is fully restarted after being shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic more than 2 months ago.
Notwithstanding everything we can do, we can begin to rebalance the domestic economy. We can begin to normalize, but we will never reach true normalization. We will never go beyond the level of being at a crawl economically until we can get the main driver of our economy back on its feet. And that in itself involves a level of peril that we will have to embrace as a people.
Bethel made the comments as the Senate passed a resolution to approve the continuation of the emergency powers regulations. The AG also addressed calls by some for the government to fully reopen the country despite the COVID-19 pandemic still raging across the globe.
As a nation, we can't fall on our sword. We can't, that's a way of just giving up. You fall on your sword, kill yourself. We can't do that.
An Exuma resident is tonight pleading with officials to allow him to travel to New Providence to seek medical treatment for a severe eye injury. He is fearful that he may lose his right eye. Berthany McDermott has his story.
An unfortunate tiling accident resulted in a piece of tile being lodged in the right eye of 31-year-old Patrick Roll. Despite their best attempts, medical personnel on Exuma could not remove the object and explained to Roll that the piece of tile is now embedded in his eye. Healthcare providers in Exuma provided him with this casualty OPD referral note dated May 25th explaining that he needed medical attention from the ophthalmology department at Princess Margaret Hospital. However, emergency powers orders permitted inter-island travel. As a result, Roll has been stuck on that island in unbearable pain since last Friday. The father of three added that what seemed to be a wild goose chase ended with him reaching out to the director of the Civil Aviation Authority.
So the doctor gave me a referral letter to see a doctor at Nassau PMH. I then took this letter to try catch one of the mail boats leaving the island. They all said I need a special travel letter due to lockdown and inter-island travel. I went back to the hospital trying to get the special travel letter. The doctor said I need to go to Port Authority to get it. I went there, the person in charge said it above her head. She can't authorize it, and I must go to the police station. I went there, and they sent me to the island administrator, who wasn't in office, but his secretary gave me an email contact for Charles Benaby at bahamas.government.bs. I tried emailing, but still no answer.
The skilled tiler then took to social media in hopes of getting help. That proved to be fruitful as 2 days later, he received this from the Exuma Healthcare Center dated May 27th, which reads, "Please allow this patient to travel to Nassau for further review at Princess Margaret Hospital." But still, he said authorities on the island are not allowing him to leave.
I get the letter Wednesday. All the boats done gone. The last boat was there Wednesday, even when I get the letter after Wednesday, 12 o'clock, was the mail boat. And they say they don't accept no passengers under no circumstance. I beg the captain, I beg people. Say money to get Nassau from my eye.
Roll says now his eye is swollen, infected, and in excruciating pain. He said he feels authorities aren't interested in helping him, despite being willing to pay for his own travel.
Oh, I've been trying to get out. I've been trying to get on some charter plane or something like that. But it ain't nothing working for me. And one care. I go into the private doctor trying to let her get some guidance or the Nassau or whatever from the eye doctor, them to try help me as best as she could.
Roll is asking officials to grant him permission to travel to save his eye. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Still to come, Pace Christian Academy celebrates the class of 2020. Stay tuned. You're watching Our News. Welcome back. Cowbells, balloons, and confetti was still the order of the day for 18 graduates who got a visit from their school this week. Family members were able to cheer on the class of 2020 as administrators went door to door handing out diplomas. Jillian Gray has more.
Caps and gowns have been traded in for masks and face shields, as many 2020 graduates won't have the traditional ceremony due to the COVID-19 pandemic. For the graduates of Pace Christian Academy, dealing with the lockdown conditions have been stressful.
It's kind of weird because, I'm not able to see my friends or go to school from day to day or, just be able to do the things that I normally would do. But I'm I'm learning to cope with it just day by day.
Feeling kind of stressed and overwhelmed because of the lockdown. I'm not used to being locked down in the house all the time. I'm the type of person who usually go to events and interact and communicate with my peers, so it's kind of like a hassle to me to be locked down inside all the time.
18 seniors at Pace Christian Academy received a visit from their school's administration this week. The students received their diplomas and the fanfare of a graduation was still there. Lawns were decorated with congratulatory signs, balloons were hoisted near the doorway, and family members cheered from the street. The commencement ceremony will air on June 4th at 6 p.m. via the school's YouTube page. And for many of the graduates, while they would have preferred a traditional setting, they're still excited for graduation.
I always wanted to graduate at Grace Community Church, like the people who I used to go to school with, but I don't mind graduating to the same kind of way I grew up.
I'm excited, but at the same time I wish I had the traditional graduation, but it's fine with me because I just wanted to graduate, to be honest.
The graduates all have big plans for the future, like this graduate who wants to show the world the splendor that is Bahamian music.
I earned an audio engineering degree, and I would like to go on a world tour.
After graduating high school, go off to college and study law and medicine whilst pursuing a job of cosmetology on the side.
And for those 2020 graduates who may be in a slump because of the current pandemic, the school's valedictorian gave this piece of advice.
Life does have a funny way of playing out. I would say to keep your head up because you got this.
Reporting for our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
All right, thanks, Jillian. Still to come, Rev rewarding its customers. Find out how after the break. Finally in news tonight, Rev rewarding those customers who have gone digital. Noting changes in the way Cable Bahamas does business due to the COVID-19 pandemic, marketing manager Melissa Colbrook said there was a tremendous uptick in those using the digital store via myrev.bs to pay their bills. Now customers will get to reap the rewards.
We have an existing cashback campaign that's been running for almost a year right now. And we thought, okay, we still have the same kitty, that doesn't change, but how do we now expand at this time to include more people who've gone digital? So instead of 50 customers winning monies, it's going to increase to 100 customers winning $100 that's going to be credited directly to their account.
The promotion runs into June. All you have to do is sign up for My Account on the digital platform my.rev.bs, register your credit, debit card, and pay your bill in full. And that's it. You're registered to win, and if you are selected as one of the lucky 100 winners, a Rev employee will contact you.
We want to encourage all customers that if you're not tech savvy or you're not familiar with the my.rev platform, BS platform, then just contact us. Whatever means of communication is most comfortable for you, we'll meet you there. Our agents are on standby. So if you want a WhatsApp, because that's your thing, just contact us on 738-9060. If you want a live chat, you go to our website, cablebahamas.com, and there's a live chat icon at the bottom. You can email. All our information's on our website.
Thank you for joining us for Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Kyle Joaquin. Remember, you can catch Our News on the go with the RevGo Play app. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend on lockdown. Have a good evening.